What's up, everyone? Lord Ryujin is here again. This week's topic going a little bit off the normal news stuff, and in fact I'm kind of rebutting and sort of going off of an earlier topic that I talked about how I prefer physical media. And I said before that the reason why I like physical media is because I think that having a physical library is more impressive than having a digital one. After all, you can own 1,000 books on a Nook and people just look at it as, oh, you have a Nook. Or they can walk into your room and they can see you have 1,000 books on a shelf. And that would be more impressive because this person obviously took the time to hunt down all these books. You know? So that's the way that I feel about it. Anyways. But kind of going off of that topic a little bit, I wanted to discuss the difference between physical media and digital media and why people think they should pay more. I mean, here's what I don't get. I have this theory that you should never, ever pay more than the digital cost of the game. Ever. That should be the end of the discussion. I mean, if you can go on, for an example, the WiiWare, the Nintendo Wii Shop, and you can download the Virtual Console version of the Legend of Zelda for 500 points, $5. Why on earth do you think that I should go into a pawn shop and pay $25 for it? You're stupid. Unless it comes in its original box, still shrink wrapped. But even still, when there was a play and trade in this area, I was able to get both Star Tropics and Star Tropics 2 with their black sleeves and their original boxes for $10, $5 each. That's what I'm talking about. There should be no excuse. And so it angers me to a point. And again, make sure that you leave your comments on the subject. Do you think that people should pay more for a physical copy? Because in a way, I get it. It's a physical copy. But at the same time, you can't do that. I mean, think about this for an example. I would say at most $10 for an NES game. That's what I would say. And the only reason why is because if Mass Effect is $20 or less at a retail store, and it's maybe $20 or less on the Xbox Live market, that's the end of it. There should be no reason why I should be seeing it going on sale for $50, $60. Dude, I can walk into a Walmart and probably pick up Mass Effect for $10. Why? Why would you even think you can charge that much? And it makes me upset because the older the generation is, the more people think they can get away with this. Like, oh, here's a rare game. I'm going to charge $15 for this. And it's like, dude, it's not really a rare game. It's just on an older system. Now, to an extent, I can get it because I'm about to give you an example here. Let's suppose that I have an Atari Jaguar, which I do, and I own an Atari Jaguar CD, and I wanted to get Primal Rage for it. I would expect to pay a good penny for that because, first of all, if the Atari Jaguar CD was only out for a few months and not a lot of games were made for it, so I can understand charging a little bit more for those games. But to say that Primal Rage on the Sega Genesis is worth $30, $40 is bull. It's absolute bull. You're talking about the Sega Genesis, a system that just about everybody in America had, along with, basically everybody either had a Super Nintendo or they had a Genesis. And most of the time, some people like me had both. So why on earth should I pay that much for it? I mean, I could understand, again, if it was on a rare system like a Nokia N-Gage, something that didn't do too good, So, how I just found out that there were DSi games that actually came out for the Nintendo DSi, actually used its hardware to its fullest capabilities. Because a lot of developers didn't do that. They continued to make DS games because they knew DS was the established system, and then Nintendo a few months later announced the Nintendo 3DS. So not a lot. So developers were either looking at the 3DS to make games for it, or they were looking at the DS to make games for that. They were not looking at the Nintendo DSi. So when I found out that there was just a small handful, mind you, about 4 to 5 games that actually physically came out for the DSi, that actually worked for it and it only, it blew my mind. And so yes, I can understand paying more for that, because that's only about 4 or 5 games that came out for a system, the Nintendo DSi, which was a revisioning or whatever of the Nintendo DS, and it was very short-lived. I can understand that. I can understand if it's something like whatever it was, that one game that came out that featured just a couple of minutes of gameplay that they did for that one, I don't even remember what it's called now. It's going for millions of dollars on eBay. I can understand that. You know, there was only about 20 of those made. I get that. But to tell me that something like, oh, The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker HD has come out, you're going to want to play the original, right? $75. For what? I can buy the HD version for $60. Are you really that dumb? You're going to try and charge me more for the original? So because okay, you know, I went into this rant a little bit earlier with the whole GameStop thing, and how GameStop, I guess, just thought that just because they took the little silicone off the case and put it on the shelf, that they could charge 80, 90, hundreds of dollars for a game that's technically new, and they should only charge $60 for it. And I'm like, no. See, you can't do that. And I don't agree with these people that do this kind of stuff online, that charge more for a game when there's no real reason to be charging more for it. You know? There really is no reason to be charging more for it. It doesn't matter if it's the greatest hits edition or if it's the original that isn't in a red box. It's the same game. It's the same stinking game. You can't tell me that, oh, this is the original Heavy Rain before it got. I can buy Heavy Rain, and then it will update itself to include move support, and I can buy DLC. It's going to be the exact same game whether I get it in the red case or the clear case. It's not going to make a difference. Stop trying to charge $15, $20 more for it. And that's my rant for now, guys. I know that I went around in circles on it, but it frustrates me to no end to see people do this. Make sure that you leave your thoughts on the matter, of course. Do you like it when people raise the price for a physical game, especially when there's no reason to? You can go on a different site, such as Amazon, or you can probably go and get it somewhere else for way cheaper than have these people who are trying to sell it for $50 with the label missing and broken in half and slime on it, you know, all those crazy conditions. I just don't understand it. Make sure that you leave your thoughts on the matter, of course. Thanks for listening, guys, as always. Leave any thoughts that you have on the matter. Leave any ideas that you have for future editions. Like, subscribe, as always. I think I've said everything. I'm going to stop thinking about this before I just go for another rant. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a good one.